It's the SKOR North Twins Show. Baseball.
SKOR North Twins Show. We got the band back together. Dex, Mackie, Judd here. It's been a while since all three of us have been at full strength. Judd on the drums.
I'm on drums, yeah. I'm playing
Okay.
drums.
You're drumming? Okay.
Taylor, you kind of strike me as a keyboard guy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
play some keys?
I mean, I was a trumpet guy.
Sure.
Like, you know,
Michael
I don't know
McDowell.
if this band has a brass instrument section. So in that case, like, I can play keyboard, sure.
This would definitely, I think this would definitely be a yacht rock band.
Oh, I'd hope so.
Twins lifestyle, summertime. The Twins have a long way to go, by the way.
Such a long way to go.
Such a long way
Yeah.
to go. What fools believe, yeah, exactly.
I keep forgetting the last time the Twins were good.
What fools believe.
Minute
Summer
by
breeze.
minute, the Twins are about
Yeah.
to make their managerial decision. Yeah.
Summer breeze, it makes you feel fine, but no one's there enjoying the summer breeze. It's
The
how-
Twins
actually,
make
they
you
are
want to
enjoying the
drink
summer breeze.
brandy. You're
Yeah.
a fine girl.
Yeah. So, hey, everyone, hit the like button, subscribe button here. We have some updates on the Twins Managerial Search World Series going on. Awesome start to the World Series 2 Friday and over the weekend, which was some great games there. But we have some updates from what's been out there. I have also some clarity on the Torii Hunter situation that I'll get into here. So hit the like button and the subscribe button on the SKOR North Twins Show if this is content you're looking for. My name's Declan Goff. I cover the team in a beat podcast role. And we also, Mackie Judd, talk baseball with us. Trevor Plouffe joins us in season and periodically, maybe even two throughout the offseason. So we love that you guys have supported the SKOR North Twins Show. So thank you so much. So here's what we know. The Athletic reported over the weekend the Twins have appeared to have reduced the field of candidates for their managerial search to 4. Derek Shelton, James Rowson, former Mariners manager Scott Service, which you guys talked about last week on a show without me, and then Chicago Cubs bench coach Ryan Flaherty. So according to their league sources, those 4 names have kind of emerged as maybe the favorites or the final candidates for this job. And also in this report, this is going to shock you, sources believe Twins are leaning towards hiring a candidate with whom they're familiar, given their previous experience with working with Twins president Derek Falvey and GM Jeremy Joel. Shelton and Rowson appear to be the strongest candidates. One more thing here, too, before I get you guys' take on that. They also said sources confirmed that Red Sox bench coach Ramon Vasquez and obviously Royals third base coach Vance Wilson were among those who didn't advance in the process, hence why we have these 4 as the leading candidates. But the least probably surprising report ever that they are leaning towards hiring someone that they are familiar with in Rowson or Derek Shelton.
Go ahead, Judd.
Exactly what I expected and feared. I guess that's the best way to put it. It is exactly, I mean, I think that they have no interest in really new creative ideas being brought in. I think they have an interest in, or I shouldn't say they, I think Derek Falvey has an interest in maintaining his control of things. And, you know, Derek Shelton is certainly a different personality than Baldelli. He's way more fiery. On Rowson, I don't know. I do, you know, he had success with the Bomba Squad, obviously, but I don't know his personality. Shelton, I've heard things about, and like Shelton was when he started with Rocco, he was like the far more intense, engaged one in some ways. So yes, there's a personality difference, but bringing in either one of those guys who they know and they know what they can do, and they know that those guys will be happy to have the job. I'll go back to what I said before. I think this is one instance where I want someone with experience. So Scott Service, I guess, would be an improvement. None of these names excite me, and the fact that they're probably going to go to somebody that they know is typical Twins, but I don't see how anything changes if you go with Rowson or Derek Shelton.
Yeah, I think. Oh man, I have so many takes off this. My biggest take is no matter who gets hired as manager, people are going to overemphasize the importance of that person. It's not that there's no influence that a manager has, but like people are. It's not like an NFL coach where you can go from who was the guy Brennan Staley or whatever, the guy the Chargers fired a couple years ago, and you can hire Jim Harbaugh and not really change your personnel that drastically. And that head coach is so much better at building a culture and scheming and motivating players and finding solutions that they could double their win total. I don't think a baseball manager has that type of impact. So, for one, like whether they hire Ryan Flaherty, Scott Service, or James Rowson, or Torii Hunter comes flying down the backstretch, in terms of like on-field performance, there's only so much a manager can do. I think front office and development system and all those tentacles wrapped into manager can make a big impact. And so I'm going to zoom out and ask, what are the biggest problems with the Twins? I don't think it's talent. I think they've had a lot of talent. They traded away a lot of talent at the deadline. And they've got a lot of position player talent, first round, second round picks, Royce Lewis, Brooks Lee, all these guys that we've talked about for months. It's not like, I think if they were just completely, and they've whiffed on some picks talent-wise too, but they've got enough talent, if maximized, to compete at a 90-win level, I think. So how do they get more out of those players? Does a manager get you from being a well below average OPS guy to maximizing Brooks Lee, for example, right? I think a manager can play somewhat of a role in that, but I think there's a lot of other systems and processes, the way that you gather information, disseminate information, communicate that information to players. And yeah, the manager is a cog in that machine. But I do think that we're going to like if they hire James Rowson, we're going to say, oh, classic Derek Falvey, hiring someone that he's comfortable with versus hiring someone who might be a better candidate that would push back against certain things. And there's a valid complaint there. But either way, like, they've got issues that go above and beyond the manager hire that are leading to their performance these last couple seasons. So I think like the manager is almost just a front for Falvey and an unqualified front office. Do you think, if you're the poll ads right now, forget manager for a second, do you think you have, in a world where there's only 30 Major League Baseball teams and 30 coveted head of baseball ops people, business ops people, general manager below the chief level, Derek Falvey, do you have the best in the world, among the best in the world? Do you have people, Falvey, Zoll, running those departments that other teams would die to poach from you? And I think the answer is no, and that is a bigger problem than whoever they do or don't hire at manager.
But that's why I would like someone with experience who can actually help. I mean, Derek Falvey needs help. Like, he might not admit it, but he needs help. So, yes, if they keep the status quo and the trickle down, it's not going to change a damn thing. So my thing is, Derek, like, what do the smartest people do? The smartest people surround themselves with people they consider to be as smart or smarter than them because they know that those people can lift them. Derek Falvey seems to be doing the exact opposite, which is I'm going to suppress people that I work with because I want to be the smartest. I don't want Thad Levine working with me now. You know why? Because he's clearly smarter than me. And so, yes, I'm with you. And to pin this whole thing on one hire would be ridiculous. But unfortunately, Derek doesn't realize or doesn't care that he needs help. And instead of getting help, he wants someone who he can dictate to. Just like with Zoll. Like he appointed Zoll his GM because he knows that he can basically still run the entire baseball operation as well and tell Jeremy, hey, you know what? The Quick Trip, they got coffee right now. I need a cup of coffee and a donut. Go get it for me. And that's the problem here. That's the problem. And so that's my complaint is you don't want a manager. You want a manager who you can basically give marching orders to, and you know that they'll be thankful to have the job.
Yeah.
So also last week, I had heard that Torii Hunter had declined interest in wanting the manager position with the Twins, basically saying thanks, but no thanks. I was told that too, excuse me, before the Angels kind of announced that Kurt Suzuki was going to get the job. Both Pujols and Hunter were finalists, and maybe even tracking to getting the job. They ended up going with Kurt Suzuki. And at the time, I reported that, hey, Torii Hunter is more focused on that, and he said no thanks to the Twins. I have since learned that Torii Hunter does have interest in the Twins job. However, he has not really had a formal interview. He had a preliminary conversation with Twins brass about maybe like wanting to manage the Twins and having interest in do I fit into these plans? But in terms of the Twins interviewing Torii Hunter, that has not happened. It also from what I was told, it seems like the minority investors, and Derek talked about this at the press conference when Rocco was fired, that these minority investors, whenever they're approved by Major League Baseball, which is, I don't know when, likely after the World Series, but we've been wondering about it for 3 months, would have some type of input in the payroll and maybe even to the structure of the team. I've kind of gleaned even with those situations with the minority investors that is this also dictating into their manager search? Like, do these minority investors even want to say in that? Do they want their own people in place during the interview process and beyond with the front office? So clarity here, just full circle, that Torii does indeed have interest in managing the Twins. But from the other side, it doesn't feel like, and obviously by the reporting of The Athletic too, that they have much interest in really even interviewing the former Twins great.
They did have a conversation, though. Like,
They
it's
had a
confirmed that they had a
conversation.
conversation.
Yes, they had a conversation, but in terms of an actual interview, they didn't grant that. Also, that Kurt Suzuki deal with the Angels is a 1-year contract for Kurt Suzuki. And I'm wondering, with the impending lockout that's going to take place here in a year, put this again full circle to the Twins, and the other teams also looking for managers, by the way, which I believe there's 5 or 6 still left out there. What do those contracts look like? Like, are we going to see other 1-year deals? It is very strange Kurt Suzuki only gets
shady.
the 1 year. It is. It's super. It's
So
super
are the
rich.
Angels basically saying, like, we think that we're going to miss a huge chunk of the 2027 season, and therefore we don't want to pay a manager $3 million or whatever the going rate is for a manager? That is so, like, it's still a multi-billion-dollar league.
Yeah.
That is one of the most ridiculously, transparently cheap things in the history of baseball. And Kurt Suzuki is going to, all right, I mean, it's my one shot to be a manager, so I guess I'll take it.
But can't you guys see the Twins doing the exact same thing?
Maybe.
James Rowson, come on down. You got
1
your
year.
chance. Oh, okay, I'm going to sign. It's a 1-year contract. I could totally see that with the way that this team is operating right now. I could see that more than a multi-year contract.
And that would be a win for right-sizing the business. Hang the banner.
Oh, you want to see the business right-sized? Wait till the lockout. We ain't going pandemic rules no more.
You think they'll just like fire everybody and then rehire everyone, or what are you saying?
I think they'll lay people off left and right. Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought you meant like pandemic rule, like the
Oh,
structure
no,
of
no, I'm
baseball
saying
for,
the
like,
Twins-
pitch clock. I was like, what?
Oh,
I
no,
hope
no.
not.
The poll ads have said, during the pandemic, what was us? We kept a lot of people on, and that's why the debt was accrued. True or not. But if we get a lockout, Lavelle casually dropped in his column last week that they just let a bunch of people from the business end go again.
Yeah, there's more people being let go than being hired to fill their headcounts.
So you
was
guys,
the
so
gist of the story.
so I'm pretty certain if and when this lockout takes place, that they're not going to say we're going to make everybody full. We're going to make everybody 100%. I'm thinking they'll just have more. They don't call them firings now, guys. They're layoffs.
Yeah, just to put a bow on the manager thing for a second here, though, I stand by that. Like, whoever you hire as manager probably isn't going to change a rotten core of your organization, which is what ownership and front office have done to this team the last 2 years. But it bothers me that Derek Falvey continues to sniff around familiar candidates that can fit the misguided culture that he has created, the losing culture that has manifested under Derek Falvey, that he would rather just find a familiar cog in that machine than creatively look outside the box to potentially change things or bring some fresh perspective or push back. I don't think Derek likes pushback. I think that's become a theme over, and I think he even gets irked when, like, and it's not like media hammers him, but I don't think he loves being poked at and pushed at, even though you've been here for almost a decade now and the results sort of speak for themselves. And if some of this goes up to ownership, then cool, I'll lump the poll ads in too. That maybe you're handcuffing Derek and that department from doing their jobs. But it is kind of classic that 50% of these 4 candidates are just from Rocco's bench. You're going to fire Rocco because things are so bad that you have to have a scapegoat. And then your solution is to hire someone who worked under Rocco if you hire either James Rowson or Derek Shelton.
Yep. Well, I mean, Patrick's contention is that Falvey was not going to fire Rocco and that he was forced to. Yeah. So he might just be saying, okay,
nothing was broken. Let's just continue. Yeah, this is my way of continuing.
Let's let it roll. Let's keep going on. So, like, if that's true, and I believe it, then we're thinking about this all wrong. They don't want to change, or Derek doesn't want to change. Derek wants status quo, didn't get to keep it, so he's going to try to replicate it.
And then it sounds like from what Declan's gathering here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Torii Hunter is not one of these 4 reported finalists, but would like to be.
Yeah, at least I think he'd like to be in the mix, and I think he'd like a formal interview. You know, it just they had a conversation. I don't know. I guess I can't confirm what that conversation was like. It doesn't sound like though it was a formal interview. It was more of like a check-in, like hey, what's
like a FaceTime thing.
Yeah, like
hey, what's going on?
Whether it was on Zoom or on FaceTime or like just a traditional phone call, I'm not sure, but. He does have an interest. I think his first focus was the Angels job. Like, he has ties to California. I think he actually in the offseason does live in Texas, but regardless, like, he likes warmer weather. He likes that side of the country. No shame in that. He also has been working with the Angels, who have embraced him after the Twins exiled him. So, like, I kind of understand if Torie's first priority was the Angels job, and then once he didn't get it, now maybe his priorities have shifted a bit, which is why he wants at least an interest or an interview with the Twins position. But yeah, I do think, to answer your question, Phil, yes, I do think he'd like to at least be considered in the mix.
At least bring him here, though. Like you already have created a rift, right? So, like, at least bring him in and talk to him. I mean, do him the courtesy of that, right? Just for, like, you do not want to, because this has happened in this town before, and it takes a while to recover from. You don't want to alienate a core group of players who were great or were impactful. Yeah. At the very least, give them the time of day.
Torii Hunter being more a part of the Angels organization than the Twins organization is a huge indictment on the Pohlads and Derek Falvey. Yep. Period. Like, how many years did he play for the Angels? 4?
I think it was a little more.
I'm going to look
more than that, but yeah.
And he never won anything there. Like, it's not like they won a World Series with him.
He was still a solid player, and even when he went to Detroit, he was still pretty decent. But
it was 5. He played for the Angels for 5 years.
Yeah.
He played in the playoffs. He played 13 playoff games with the Angels. So it wasn't like Torii Hunter was drafted by the Twins when Kirby Puckett was the star player, right? I mean, they spent time at spring training together early in his career. So then he left the Twins in, was it the 2008 season, I think. So he was drafted in 1993, essentially to replace at some point Kirby Puckett, which he did. It took a couple of years after Puckett was gone. So he was with the Twins organization for 15 years as one of, and was the central figure for the rejuvenation of that franchise in the early 2000s. And he spent 5 minutes with the Angels, and he's more of a part of the Angels organization than the Twins. Come on.
And the really sad thing is, this is history repeating itself, because the exact parallel, same teams, same everything. Rod Carew was traded to the Angels, I think it was in 79. Had, I think, one playoff run there. But the Twins for years and Carew were on the outs. I think Carew was their hitting coach at one point, and it was a credit to Dave St. Peter. He's the one that got Rod back, but there was a long chunk of time where Rod Carew was in with the Angels and had nothing to do with the Twins. And my question is, why would you want that? And I also feel bad because Dave St. Peter worked his ass off to get all of these guys back.
Yeah.
Like, this team at one point alienated Harmon Killebrew. Almost impossible to do. So, like, this is doing the same exact thing. And that's why, would it be that hard to bring Torii in? Well, give him the time of day and talk to him?
You'd have to give him, if you made him the manager, that's one way to do it.
Oh, no, but I'm saying
you'd have to give him like an actual role above special assistant to the general manager.
Sure,
I think you'd have to make it worth his while above and beyond what he's getting with the Angels at this point.
But I'm just saying right now, would it be that hard to give him the time of day and fly him to Minnesota to talk to you about this job?
Well, here's the question. Do they think Torii Hunter, by they I mean Joe Pohlad and Derek Falvey, do they think Torii Hunter would help this organization get better do they think he would add value to the organization? I think it's a yes, like a no-brainer yes.
I don't know.
They need
Right.
They need more Torii Hunter guile and swagger in this organization and winning attributes.
Yeah.
And so if they don't think that he adds value to the organization as a manager or in some other role, I'd like to hear why they think that. If they do think that he adds value in some sort of role, I'd like to hear why he isn't in that role with this organization.
Yeah. And
if it's Torii saying I don't want to, I'd like to know why. I'm just asking questions here.
And you can have all these different types of guys that are head of analytics and research and development and baseball strategy and that type of stuff. That's great, but you are lacking the player side of this, that guys that played, and that is a huge thing. I mean, when I reported around the state fair time that there are a collection of hitters that are sick and tired of hearing about their results being good and not getting the actual, statistics to back it up.
Their process
being good and their results not evening out. At the end of the day, your exit velocity and launch angle is not necessarily what gets you paid. It's home runs, it's RBI. As much as we have maybe overvalued sometimes those stats, those are the things that are getting you paid. And then if you also have the things underneath it, okay, even better. But they have a disconnect there with their players and with the information that's being told, and they need someone like a Torii. And I know Trevor Plouffe has no interest in doing a type of role like this, but even a Plouffe-like person, I think, would also go a long way. They're lacking that right now for sure.
Do we know any of the background of the David Popkins story too? Because and I get it, Toronto is a top 5 payroll and they've got a lot of really good players, but it feels like Popkins is being heralded there. Like it's not just like he happens to be their hitting coach. It just seems weird. Like was he not allowed to install his philosophies here? I would love to know from a player, what did you think now in retrospect?
Yeah, it's a good question because, they bring in Matt Borgschulte. They overhauled their preparation in spring training and pregame to what they weren't doing under Popkins. I mean, from what I was told, Popkins got that job with the Blue Jays within 48 hours of him being fired by the Twins. He got calls immediately and got that job quickly. So I guess he was a scapegoat for the 2024 collapse, is probably safe to assume, even though, and there was times where it ebbed and flowed, but I think the Twins had the 10th or 12th best offense in 2024, even despite the collapse that took place in mid-August. So the offense wasn't, I mean, it could have been better, sure, but it wasn't necessarily the problem. So it is a good question, Judd. Maybe I can try to dig more on that this coming season, or just figuring out what's going on in the offseason. But yeah, where does Popkins fit in that? Because right now, I mean, the Blue Jays, by the way, the team that the Twins eliminated in the playoffs 2 years ago, and finished in 5th place in the AL East last year. Here they are, the talk of the town, trying to win a World Series.
Yeah. Yep. There's we'll see. We'll see what decision they make on manager here, but it's just it just feels like this is the most stale this organization has felt in a long time, and I don't know that James Rowson is going to change that.
Agreed.
So, we'll see.
Hit the like button and subscribe button for Minnesota Twins content. If they do hire a manager, we'll handle it accordingly here on this show, and plus anything offseason related. I'd even get to, guys that could be added to the 40-man roster to protect from the Rule 5 draft. So if you're looking for that type of content, stay tuned for a future episode of the SKOR North Twins Show. I even saw the top 50 free agent fits from The Athletic, with the Twins being listed as fits for some of those guys. So there's still things to talk about this offseason, despite the stale bread that we're all having to consume right now. Random Twin of the Week from Judd coming up here in just a sec, but a shout out to Grandpa's Barbecue, grandpa'sbarbecueshop.com, to place your orders. Free shipping for our Twin Show listeners on orders $50 or more. If you like to grill year-round, dry rubs, sauces, there's plenty of great options. Plus, locally in the Twin Cities, you can find them in Fratelloni's locations too. So go to grandpa'sbarbecueshop.com to learn more. All right, also, Random Twin of the Week.
Let me shout out some more food real quick here.
Oh yeah, we got more food.
Yeah, we're not done talking about food here before we get to the Random Twin. You can't silence Green Mill Pizza.
No.
That iconic Green Mill restaurant style pizza that Minnesotans have known and loved for a long time. tavern-style pizza that you can now take from the freezer section of a grocery store and bake in the comfort of your own home, slice it up into squares like a good Minnesotan, and boom, serve to your family or just to yourself. If you just want to solo a Green Mill pizza. Green Mill restaurant pizzas and more, including soft breadsticks and sauces at your local grocer. You can learn more at greenmillfoods.com.
All right, a potential game-changing edition of Random Twin of the Week. Why? Because Phil and Dex are tied with 34 all-time wins. We're tied at first place, so Judd's going to give the clues. Whoever wins will take over the leader. Clear game ahead of one of the two. Judd has 31 wins, too, so me and Phil with both 34, Judd with 31, so we've all been pretty close. I am on a 3-game winning streak, though, with Torii Hunter, Tyler Clippard, and Paul Molitor. Other Random Twins include Mark Guthrie, Swaggy V, that's Danny Valencia, Luis Rivas, Kirby Puckett, Ruben Sierra. We've done a handful of Random Twins, and Judd has the clues this week to see who's going to come out on top for their 35th and team-leading win in Random Twin.
Wow. A lot of pressure here. A lot of pressure. I've been struggling lately. We'll see if we can get back on track.
Oh, I'm giving the clues, so I'm 3 back at both of you guys. It's a tough division. All right. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Are we ready? All right. This Random Twin played 10 seasons in the big leagues.
Is it Shannon Stewart?
Oh, my God. Is that an official guess?
This is it's an official guess. This is a great guess because I embargoed this one like at the state fair time, and the answer is no.
Oh my God. Oh, my God. I would have been so pissed.
So
I knew somebody was going to guess that.
Some backstory here. Judd had, what was it? You had Shannon Stewart prepped and ready to go.
And you're like, did we do, and you sent a note out saying, did we do Random Twin last week in the summer? And I'm like,
and you had said, we did Shannon Stewart last week. And we were like, no, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway, Shannon Stewart's still in the hopper, but this is not Shannon Stewart. This is another twin I had prepped out because, full disclosure, I completely forgot about this, but I had this prepped weeks and weeks ago. So
Okay.
By the way, no Googling, but we can. We're to the point now where there's over 100 or close to 100 in the database. You can Control F search,
and then you can also ask me questions, and I can refuse to answer them.
Yep.
This Random Twin entered the major leagues as an undrafted player.
That could mean a few different things.
Yeah, it can mean a lot of things.
He got his first major league hit and major league home run in the same game.
With the Twins?
No,
Okay.
not as a twin. We're talking about a journeyman here, though, gentlemen, because he played for 8 teams and spent 1 season with 6 of them. So he's bounced around, and he's bounced around quickly. So 1 season stops with 6 of the 8 teams for which he's played.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
We're wide open here now. We're wide open.
We're talking
wide
about
ass open.
I don't know. I need to hear that. Okay. We are talking about not just a journeyman, but a journeyman who has spent most of his time in the junior circuit, a.k.a. the American League. Because of those 8 teams, only 1 was in the National League. So most of his career has been spent in the American League.
10 years. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Going down the same path of a career filled with changes of address, this Random Twin has been traded 3 times, signed as a free agent 3 times, released twice, and sold once. So he's gone from he's been traded, he's been signed as a free agent,
Sold.
and once he was sold. Well, I mean, it's what happens, and it's not a forgiving league.
Oh, my God. Okay. Wow.
Any guesses?
No,
It's still too wide open. Like
Yeah,
there's
no
so many.
era.
This is a well prepped Random Twin. A lot of suspense here. Okay, so he has 73 career home runs, and with the Twins, he hit 13. So 13 of his 73 career home runs came with the Twins.
13. Hold on, I'm just going to Control F something here.
Okay.
I do have a possible guess, but I don't know, man.
Oh, and you're at -1 already. You're 0 for 1 already.
I know I got to be careful.
You
I
gotta
do it,
fool
but
yourself
and
with
the
that
thing is, like,
chance
I
to
could
guess.
guess this, but I don't think Declan would guess this player, so I can just sit on this for a minute.
Okay. All right, back to the power numbers. 21 home runs is his career high in a season.
So did he only spend one season with the Twins?
Correct.
Okay.
13 home runs.
13 home runs, one season with the Twins.
Be him.
10 years in the bigs. You spent more than... Yeah, I hear you, Sonny. Man.
All right, so
National League guy.
this random twin played in the big leagues this season before being released.
This season?
This season, obviously not as a Twin. So he's been with the Twins, spent a year here, but he was playing in the big leagues this season, and then he was released.
Whoa, okay. Well, now we have an era.
Mm-hmm.
13 with the Twins.
This random Twin has a lot of different gloves. He's got a lot of different gloves because he's played every infield position. He's DH'd, and he's played left field in his career.
Oh my gosh, dude. Why can't I remember his name?
We've done one guy that I would harp in on.
His
Is
career,
it Gio Urshela?
Oh, that's a great guess.
Gio Urshela, he's a happy fella, and he indeed is the random twin.
Yo, great pull.
There's a high fly ball.
Gio Urshela.
The ball is gone.
I believe his 21 home runs came with the Yankees.
Yeah.
And the Yankees lead 3-1. Gio Urshela.
Johnny's just a great player. Johnny's a fantastic player. Look at him.
Susie,
I just don't know what to say about that. He's in George Steinbrenner's box.
the greatest of all time.
Roger Clemens is in George Steinbrenner's box.
Clutch victory.
Okay, so
Gio
Phil takes the
Urshela.
lead.
He's a
Congratulations.
happy fella.
He's a happy fella. He's Gio Urshela. I think he was with Oakland for a or Oakland. He was with the A's.
Angels, A's,
Tigers.
Twins, Tigers,
Tigers,
Yankees. Oh, the Yankees win.
I believe his National League team was the Braves
Okay.
after the Twins. Cleveland originally.
I had literally, I was trying to think, what is his name? I know that he came over with Gary Sanchez, but then I was like, oh, we used to make fun of the Yankee play-by-play guy. And what did we say? Happy fella. What rhymes with fella? This was my mind for those 10
Gio
seconds.
Urshela.
Gio Urshela. Is a happy
Imagine
fella.
if you had lost it then. Like you knew it and
Declan
you couldn't
Johnson
think of
casually
it.
says Gio.
Dex has done it before. It's happened
I
to
was
me.
going to guess Dave Hollins until you gave us the era. But he was National League, Phillies,
Yes.
Mariners on the American League side.
Yes, he played a long time with the Phillies.
But he hit, wow, look at that. He hit 13 home runs with the Twins in 96, and I somehow remembered that.
I believe he broke the Hammett bone, which became if there's two staples of injuries in Minnesota, it's the Hammett bone and plantar fasciitis.
Yep. Having both at the same time would be terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
The Hammett
Everything
bone
would hurt.
sounds very painful as well. I think they have to go take it out.
Hit the like button, subscribe button. Phil picks up his 35th win in Random Twin of the Week, taking the all-time lead. That's going to do it for us here on today's show. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and give us a 5-star rating. And then if the Twins do hire a manager, we'll be ready to react to it here on the SKOR North Twins Show. We'll be talking at you guys soon.